My attention.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Please take this.
Thank you,
Introduce
sir.
yourself.
Sir, with me. My name is 𝐒𝐚𝐥𝐿. I am completed my 10th from RCD High School, Bapuji Benta, Gajapati in 2015. Then I have completed my +2 from BJP Junior College in 2017. Then I am completed my graduation in BSc Forestry from College of Forestry OUAT in 2021. Then I have completed my MSc in Department of Silviculture and Agroforestry from College of Forestry OUAT in 2024. And presently I am working as a Junior Employment Officer in ESO Jaipur at Koraput.
Okay, so share us the role of your Gajapati, your region in contribution in Odisha's freedom struggle.
Yes, sir. Especially in the contribution of Sri Krishna Chandra Gajapati Narayana Dev in the separation of Odisha in 1936 April 1. Sri Krishna Chandra Gajapati is one of the member in the Round Table Conference, and he is also a member of Utkal Sammilani, who fought for a separate state for Odisha, with convincing all the Odia speaking peoples from all the 4 provinces, where at that time when the Odia speaking peoples are at different provinces.
Okay, so Maharaja Gajapati,
Sri Krishna Chandra Gajapati Narayana Dev.
Any famous institutions with his honor of his name?
Yes, sir. Sri Krishna Chandra Gajapati is famous for his institutions like MKCG Medical College, Maharaja Sri Krishna Chandra Gajapati Medical College at Barampur, then SKCG College at Parlakhundi, then SKCG Boys High School, SKCG Girls High School, and SKCG High School. There are so many institutions running in Gajapati, and Sri Krishna Chandra Gajapati is also a contributor in the present Cuttack SCB medical formation.
Okay. Speak something about latest FSI report. When it was published, latest?
Forest Survey report?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Forest Survey report publishes at the interval of 2 years. Latest Forest Survey report is at 2021. Due to latest Forest Survey report is at 2021, which is published by Forest Survey of India, Dehradun.
Okay. What is the premier institute of forest?
Sir?
Indian Forestry, which one? In Dehradun, which institute there?
Yes, sir. FRI, Forest Research Institute, Dehradun.
Dehradun.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So, do you think that present your forest coverage in India is adequate enough?
No, sir.
What is that percentage, and what should be ideally?
Yes, sir. According to Forest Survey, current Forest Survey report, the present forest cover is 24.71%.
24.71%.
24.71%. According to present survey report. But according to National Forest Policy 1980...
Present or latest?
Latest.
Okay.
According to National Forest Policy 1988 Act, there is a provision that minimum 33% of geographical area of the will be covered with forest.
1/3 of the TC.
1/3 of that is 33%. In which 66% is in a hilly area and 33% is in plain area.
Okay, fine. So, what do you think, if an analytical perspective, why the forest cover is too less? That means if I say 33% should be ideal, now we are almost, if I can say, more than 8% we are lagging, right? Near
Yes,
about.
sir.
So, what is the cause of this? Because 8% means it's an alarming now.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the parameters that you think that leads to such consequences now?
Sir, previously, as comparing to 2019 Forest Survey report, we are growing in forest cover. In 2019 there is forest cover of 21%. Then we grow to 24%, but we are lacking behind of our target of 33%. The major causes are deforestation and the industrial growth and the raw material for the industries, which are the forest-based industries like paper pulp industry and saw making industry and furniture industries. And also there is another cause for the growing urbanization and population habitation.
Okay, fine. You said it that one parameter out of agreed. Out of 4 parameters, I'll take it out: paper and pulp industries and saw making industry.
Yes, sir.
Which regions in India are more vulnerable to such regarding paper, pulp, and saw making?
Yes, sir. Exactly I can't say, but I can guess.
Which are the states? Either you can state the state's name.
Yes, sir. Mostly Punjab and Haryana, because these two states are specially grown for these two industries, paper and saw making industry. These two states are preferably grown eucalyptus and populus deltoids, which are preferable species for these two industries. But today, due to reduction of that groundwater level and other causes for which the forest cover is vulnerable.
Okay, it was in news last year, I think 2022, some around that your northeast hilly areas are much prone. And if I took the example, if I say among the northeastern states, which state is much in limelight? That FSI report mainly indicates this particular state or states. They were in the previous report, they were good, but 2-3 successive reports, if I say the previous reports. But latest report, if we compare, there is a drastical reductions, negative your results. Name the state's name.
Yes, sir. All the 7 states of northeastern, there is obviously there is more forest cover as compared to other regions of India, but according to Indian State Forest Survey report, there is drastical reduction of forest cover. Those states are Manipur, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, all these states, sir.
Okay, Manipur, Nagaland. So what are the basic cause that why such an drastic reductions of this?
Yes, sir. Due to improved urbanization in these areas and the infrastructure development and government's motive for their development in the infrastructure and through industrialization in these areas.
Mostly these states, as you said, that Manipur and Nagaland, they are mostly your northeastern complex, like Himalayas, extended Himalayas, right? So in those pockets, basically your population is really scanty. Then how it leads to the cutting of the forest? As you said that urbanization is rampant there. I don't think that in northeastern states they are much vulnerable to such, because in hilly areas generally there is inaccessibility. So people used to live, for example, in Manipur, the Manipur Valley is highly located, thickly populated. Yes, in Nagaland also that one. So if you go to the inaccessible area, then how it leads to, it's contradicts in your statement?
Yes, sir. But presently there is, as compared to presently there is more infrastructure development by the government to urbanize and.
What type of infrastructure?
It may be the road connectivity to the interior areas of the state and space.
Okay, so among the 7 cousins, which state is more having thick canopy cover?
Sir, it's Manipur, sir, I guess.
Manipur? Yes, sir. Or Mizoram? Okay, so just say me that among these states, you said it that canopy cover, right? What do you mean by the canopy cover?
Yes, sir. Sir, canopy cover means the area of canopy or the branches within a meter area. For example, we take according to canopy cover, we can categorize these dense canopy and scarce canopy and open canopy areas according to their canopy area of their forest.
Okay, so how many types of forest are basically there in India? Majorly, chiefly.
Yes, sir. According to Champion and Seth report in 1968, there are majorly 5 major groups, and then these 5 major groups are subcategorized in 16 groups.
What are the 5 major groups?
Yes, sir. These 5 major groups are tropical wet evergreen forest, tropical semi-evergreen forest, then mountain subtropical mountain temperate forest, mountain dry deciduous forest, littoral and swampy forest.
Okay. So as per the 5 major mangroves is absent there?
Yes, sir. Littoral and swampy forest, sir.
Mangroves is
Yes,
coming. Okay. So in Manipur and Nagaland, which type of forest generally cut it down?
Sir, Manipur and Nagaland, those are special tropical wet evergreen forests because these areas are getting higher monsoon rainfall.
Okay. So do you think that India is now, there is a report that your moist deciduous is reducing and dry deciduous is more increasing? Why it is so?
So due to increased global warming and there is increased temperature for which
What is the basic difference between moist deciduous forest and dry deciduous forest?
yes, sir. The moist deciduous forest and dry deciduous forest, these are two categories according to Championship forest. In moist deciduous forest, the soil cover is always wet and the tree gets moisture from the soil continuously. Whereas in dry deciduous forest, there is a lack of a certain period in which moisture content is reduced. And there is a leaf fall in dry deciduous forest continuous. But in moist deciduous forest, there is a leaf fall. But the leaf fall and renewal of the leaf continues throughout the year. Whereas in dry deciduous forest, there is a certain period in which the renewal is absent, but the leaf fall is continuous.
Okay. Okay. So do you think that acidic soils is harmful for your crop growth?
Yes, sir. We cannot say completely that acidic soils are harmful for crop growth because there are certain species which can also grow in acidic soils.
Such as?
Such as Poplus deltoides, Poplus territicornis, Poplus.
Which region it is found basically?
Sir, basically these are found in the North Punjab, Haryana, these states are, and also we can find this in our Northwest Bengal, sir.
So why soil fertility is getting reduced in India now?
Yes, sir. So soil fertility is getting reduced in India due to certain causes. It may be increased utilization of chemical fertilizers or the leaching of the nutrients and the abnormality in the water cycle and also abnormality in the nutrient recycling. These are some causes for which the fertility of the soil is reduced.
What is leaching?
So leaching, mostly the leaching means when we apply some fertilizers in the soil, due to rapid irrigation, these fertilizers are getting leached to subsoil, for which the crop cannot get the fertilizer which is applied for the purpose.
Okay. So what is mulching? Do you think that mulching can help to the present your agroeconomic pattern to our marginal farmers?
Yes, sir. Mulching is the process in which we are covering the soil to reduce the evaporation. It may be leaf mulch or a pebble mulch or any polythene mulch maybe. By using this mulch, we can increase the soil fertility by reducing the evaporation, which increases the soil moisture condition, which also reduces the growing of the weeds. So the fertilizer which we applied for the crops growth, that can be sustainably and preferably utilized by the preferable crops.
Okay. So do you accept that role of earthworm is prime or chief in making the soil fertile?
Yes, sir.
How?
Sir, earthworms are mostly utilized for the formation of FYM, farmyard manure. Earthworms makes the improves the soil fertility by increasing the soil aeration, soil moisture content, and making the path for, and it also helps in the nutrient recycling, in which the root canopy of the trees helps tree easily utilize the interior nutrients which are available in our soil.
Okay. So if we go to the present subsidy system of India PDS schemes, then the role of FCI is not appreciable. FCI, Food Corporations of
Yes.
India. So why it is so? Suppose you are selected as your district collector in any of your districts, and the FCI is not properly functioning in that case. So, or the schemes that are central government is that is facilitating, it is not populate to the downstream level. Okay, people are not getting. So, what do you suggest to the government regarding the improvement in infrastructure of the FCI?
Yes, sir. Sir, mostly the subsidies which are provided by the government, it should be from the grassroots level. When we educate and literate the grassroots peoples, such as the sarpanch, who are mostly from these villages, if we educate them according about the present subsidies and what they can get benefit from these subsidies, then they can aware all the populations of the rural villages, by which they can get all the subsidies from FCI. Through they can also demand for their subsidies. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what are the major popular conservation techniques and water conservation techniques that practice in India?
Yes, sir. Sir, water conservation is one of the major thing we because reduced irrigation. In India, there is only 34% of the area is mostly irrigated, and rest 66% is dry land.
So okay, nice. So let me know that you said it that 33% areas are irrigated and 66% areas are non-irrigated or dry land.
Yes, sir.
So are you taking those wasteland into this 66% or 33%?
Wasteland.
Yeah.
Sir, wastelands in 66%.
66%. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Fine. So, do you think that this conservation method is applied to in the dryland part? Means, I mean, this wasteland and dryland part, right?
No, sir. We can also apply this conservation in both wetland and dryland, because in wetland there is a lot of water which are going through around which
Surface runoff or wastage?
surface runoff. Yes, sir.
Wastage. Okay.
Wastage.
So, popular conservation techniques, you can tell that one?
Yes, rainwater harvesting, and there are many conservation like LBCD, half moon trenching.
What is LBCD?
Loose bond conservation development techniques, in which mostly in forest areas where there is a high altitude due to the slopey areas, in way to conserve this water and to reduce the runoff of the water, the pebbles are used to reduce this runoff, by which we can conserve the water. Below which we can develop some half moon trench and trenching techniques, through which we allow the water to leach into the groundwater.
Okay. So, Himalayan prone, your districts are morely prone to the flash floods and your solidifications, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what kind of plants or particularly what breeds are mainly suggested to check these solidifications?
Flash floods, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Solidification, I'm telling you.
Solidification, sir. To reduce these types of hazardous technique of the solidification, whatever, the most preferable species are indigenous species.
Like?
And the species should be of that region so that they can grow in that areas preferably. For example, we can take Dalbergia latifolia, which is one of the indigenous species of the Himalayan region. According to the altitude level of the Himalayas, we can take different species for different altitudes so that they can grow in that altitude preferably and rigorously, which can check the flash floods and the siltation.
Nice. Last year or few months back, there was a news of rhododendron in Himalayan state. What? Rhododendron. That particular species. You heard it about this one in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh?
Yes, sir. Rhododendron is one of the alpine species, sir.
Yeah.
Alpine species.
Yeah.
Which is mostly grown in the cold areas.
Means is it mountain forest or is it temperate coming?
It is a mountain temperate forest.
Mountain temperate. Why is it commercially viable? Why the rhododendron is mostly exploited in Himalayan states? You heard about this one? Now it's an alarming now.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, last questions. So you are playing badminton, right?
Yes.
So if I talk about this last month, your India has an particular very below performance in your Olympic games. Paris Olympic. So do you think that badminton level means why this performance is too poor in badminton?
Sir, we can't say the performance of badminton of India is poor.
How come? Because we are not getting any award of that one. In fact, who was the persons who lost the final game?
Yes, sir. Although we lost, we didn't get any medal. But as compared to previous Olympics and previous games, the level of playing of our players is much more developed. For example, Lakshya Sen, who is completed his position with 4th. He is the first person of Indian man badminton player who played 4th position.
That means you are saying that Lakshya Sen, okay, see, in a game, losing or winning is a part of the game. That's okay, fine. But don't you think that the infrastructure facilities regarding the badminton as a game has to be improvised in India, or still you think that it is adequate enough?
Yes, sir. Presently, there are more infrastructure and so much facilities available for our.
Who is providing this facility to the players? Which department of government is mainly?
Sir, Ministry of Sports.
Any other Ministry of Sports is a high level agency. In the ground level, who is working main? Who is connecting the states with the center? Which department that?
Sports department.
Okay, nice. Yes.
Okay, so tell me something about your work. What you are doing right now, Junior Employment Officer.
Yes, sir. Sir, presently I am working as a Junior Employment Officer in Employment Sub-Office Jaipur, which is located at Koraput district. Mostly my work is as a employment officer, my work is to mobilize and aware the rural areas populations about what are the opportunities for these rural peoples, and how they can skill and upskill themselves to getting a job in future.
Okay.
As an employment officer, we are convincing them as the locality is in rural area, and most of them are illiterate persons, and they have no idea about the higher education and skilling and upskilling. So we are awareing them what are the opportunities of government and convincing them and taking them for training.
So what type of training you provide?
Yes, sir. From District Skill Development cum Employment Office, we are trained the rural populations of the area in trades of sewing machine and and recently we have conducted a job drive in connection with aviation sector GMR, in which the GMR company selected some rural peoples, and through a simple interview and taking them for 3 months in Hyderabad and improving their communication skills and placed in the aviation sector.
So, are you successful to giving employment to rural people? Is
Yes,
it
sir.
successful?
Somewhat we are successful. Mostly the Koraput is in a rural area, and the peoples are not willing to get out of their district, and they are not ready to get out of their comfort zone, which is the most problematic in that area. Peoples are willing to get skilled, but after skilling they are not willing to leave the district for employment in other sectors.
Okay, tell me one thing. Your expertise in silviculture and agroforestry,
Yes.
and you are working as a junior employment officer. Don't you think your knowledge of silviculture, agroforestry gone west?
As a graduate from forestry, and I am completed in the Department of Silviculture and Agroforestry. I can utilize this knowledge in my field also. And like recently, we have also conducted a training program in collaboration with Coffee Board of India, which is present in Koraput district, in which I can assure the Coffee Board that I can aware the rural populations about the present terrain of the area and about the species in which we can grow the coffee, so that I can utilize my knowledge of silviculture and agroforestry, in which I can somewhat aware about.
You can increase awareness among citizens. Acha, tell me, recently, do you aware that Kolkata government has passed a bill, some bill before one?
Yes, sir.
What is the name of the bill?
Sir, I have got.
It is a
recently
newspaper.
I am not recalling.
Acha, okay.
Sir, Aparajita.
Aparajita bill.
Yes.
And have you gone through today's newspaper, The Hindu? No.
Sir,
Acha.
actually, I have come 2 days from Koraput, sir. That I.
Acha, okay, no problem. The governor of West Bengal has sent the bill to the consideration of president. So I think you have read in polity that the governor has a discretionary power. He can send the bill for the consideration of president. Acha, after that, what happened? Can you tell me about the president's role regarding a state bill?
Sir, when a bill is reserved by governor for president, the president have the role. When president approves the bill, it will be an act of the state, but he may hold the bill and also return the state assembly for reconsideration. Yes, sir. When the assembly again
Send it back
for approval of the president, there is not any provision for the president is bound or not bound. There is no provision in constitution.
Okay, got it. Listen, your expertise in silviculture, agroforestry, don't you think you are a better competent in working those fields rather than a OS? As a OS is a very generalist job.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your idea of silviculture and agroforestry. So don't you think a particular job related to this sector will help a society more than you as a OS? What is your opinion?
Yes, sir. Sir, in forest sector, as my knowledge in silviculture and agroforestry, I can serve the people in this sector. But as a administration officer, I can handle all the. I can serve the people in all sectors, and I can utilize this knowledge in every sector wherever I can possible. I can utilize this knowledge.
Acha, so you can utilize this knowledge as a OS. So, acha, I am giving you a situation. You are appointed as a BDO in 𝐻𝐿𝐻, one of the block in 𝐻𝐿𝐻. Tell me how you use your knowledge of silviculture and agroforestry.
Yes, sir. I am appointed as a BDO in 𝐻𝐿𝐻 district. 𝐻𝐿𝐻 is one of the district in which there is shifting cultivation is rampant, for which the forest deforestation is rampant and the forest cover is reducing gradually. As a BDO, I am in ground level. I am convincing. I am in contact with the local sarpanchas and the ground staffs. I can convince and aware them what are the causes and what happens after a shifting cultivation. For which
you create awareness.
Yes.
Okay. So you use your knowledge of agroforestry to create awareness.
Yes, sir.
Acha. Awareness, listen, I can also create awareness. Yes or no? Yes. A history optional student, a common graduation student, he also create awareness. Awareness is very common.
Yes, sir.
I want any more significant thing that you can do or you can create that we cannot create.
Yes, sir.
Tell me that.
Yes, sir. My knowledge of silviculture and agroforestry I can utilize. Especially, I can aware the people about farm forestry, agroforestry. Farm forestry in which the rural peoples are mostly engaged in agriculture, apart from agriculture, how they can utilize the forest cover in their farm only, so that they can get both benefits. And I can aware, and by practice I can show them what are the possibilities, how they can grow their income by utilizing agroforestry knowledge, how they can use agroforestry.
For example, give me that, suppose consider I am a farmer.
Yes, sir.
You give me that what I should do that I increase my income.
Yes, sir. As a farmer, you have the land, so I can preferably suggest you to go through for integrated farm forestry, in which you can use your land in an integrated way, so that you can at the same time you can use both the space and the time, in which you can grow your crop, you can grow your forest species, by which you can get some NTFP for food products, and by which you can get some raw material for industries. And also apart from this, you can also grow their poultry farming, and also you can got mulching and FYM, which you can use all these things in your farm again, so that the input from one enterprise of your land you can use as the output. Sorry, the output of the one enterprise you can use as the input of another enterprise in your same farm, so that you can reduce your input income.
Okay. Sanrakshak.
So, Mr. Harry, you have one international journal publication.
Yes.
What is it all about?
Yes, sir. I have one international journal publications. The title of the publication is NTFP and Livelihood of the Forest Fringe Peoples of Paralakhemmundy Forest Division, in which how the NTFP of the rural in forest fringe areas affect the livelihood of the forest fringe
All right.
areas.
What is the research methodology used in that?
Yes, sir. Sir, as this is a basic paper in which I utilize the methodology of questionnaire and surveying the area. Personally, I have gone that area and
Survey and questionnaire, right?
Yes, sir.
How many questions were there in the questionnaire?
There are, sir, around 29.
What is the sample size?
Sample size, sir, 10%, sir.
Sorry?
10%, sir.
Sample size means to how many people you interviewed?
Yes, sir. There are total, the area in which I have surveyed and the experiment is conducted, that is a one panchayat, in which in panchayat some villages I have taken, in which around 5,000 people are there. I have taken 10%, as there is a norm in public.
500 people?
Yes, sir, around 500 people.
Okay.
Because there is
How do you choose? All right. How do you choose that 500? What is the method used?
Yes, sir. I have taken the map of that area and analyzed the area and analyzed the NTFPs of the whole villages, how the NTFPs are affected them, and I have taken those families and persons who are mostly dependent on NTFP for their livelihoods.
Okay. It is basically random sampling.
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you mean by blue book citation? Are you aware about it? Because you have one publication, right? So how do you refer notes, put notes and all those? Let's say you are referring a book, you have some resource material to which you are referring, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So how do you use a blue book citation? No idea. All right. What is the meaning of the term IBID in your research paper?
Sir, IBID.
No issues. All right. No problem at all. So, you are also General Secretary in the Students' Union College, right? In OUAT College. So, do you think the Student Union is required in a democratic country? Because in Odisha, in the last 4 or 5 years, what we observe is there is no election in the colleges, in the universities, right? What is your view on that? It is required or not? Whether the government is trying to suppress the students' voice or it is undemocratic?
Yes, sir. As a democratic country, the youth are the future of the country, so we should prepare them for the future from the schools, colleges itself, they can build themselves as a leader. The students union body gives them the leadership qualities and improves their personality, which they can utilize in their future. Also,
All right, I got your point. Could you please name some student leaders, those who later on became minister in Odisha?
yes, sir, but presently they are not minister.
All right, any name in the last government also, it is fine.
Yes, sir. Bikram Kesari are one of
Anyone else?
who is
Yes, correct. Anyone else? There are many famous
yes, sir.
faces.
Noigod MLA, sir, present Noigod MLA.
Mr. Arun Sav, right?
Yes, sir, Arun, sir. Agriculture Minister previously.
All right. So, you're working as junior employment officer. Could you please explain what is the structural unemployment? Structural unemployment.
Yes, sir. So, structural unemployment in which the unemployment because of the lacking of the skill.
Only because of lack of skill. Partially correct. Don't worry. Okay. What is disguised unemployment?
So, disguised unemployment means with increased technology, the peoples are unable to get the new skills for which they can survive in the new skills.
No. You are referring to something else. Disguised unemployment basically found in the agriculture sector where the marginal productivity is 0. Right? Let's say 5 people employed. Work to be completed in 10 days. Again, I employ 3 more people, 8 people. Now again the work is completed in 10 days. So there is no marginal productivity, right? So just read about it, no problem. Fine, that's all from my side. All right, absolutely fine. All the best, thank you. You may leave now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mate se lagla ki you're quite vocal of things you know, means your voice is very loud. Text of the things you know, you are very clarity over there, the things you know. But some things mate lagla ki jothre ki tamku tike mane tike जानी जो बहुत जिनस बट एक्सप्रेस कला बड़ा टिके मतलब लागु जे सेटा टिके आउट टिके इन डेप्थ लुक दियो अदरवाइज यू कैन से बेटर दैट वन ओके
सो इंग्लिश रे कहला टाइम रे
नहीं भल
अच्छे ठीक अच्छे माने मु कहछि सब्जेक्ट ऊपर मु से जो कहली वॉइस हैज माने वेरी वोकल माने लाउड जोटा जानी छ वोकल माने भलो सेंस रे तो जानी छ जो जिनसोटा तमे कहउछ क्लियरली बट टिके सब्जेक्ट देखो जो कि तुम आउरी 10% 15% मार्क तुम अट्राक्ट कर परिबो अच्छा स्पोर्ट्स ऊपर तुम यदि लिखी छ एटी पर्टिकुलरली यू हैव रिटन एज प्लेइंग बैडमिंटन राइट सो प्लेइंग बैडमिंटन तुम यदि कहले इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आई एम एग्रीड दैट वन लक्ष्य सेन ऊपर कथा कहले ठीक अछि इंडिया रे एक्चुअली वी नीड टू इंप्रूव दैट वन बिकॉज तुम प्रथम जिनस तुम पचली हु इज द डिपार्टमेंट दैट कंडक्टिंग दैट यू आर कनेक्टिंग द स्टेट्स विद द सेंटर दैट इज साई यू हर्ड अबाउट साई Sports Authority of India. You have to say
yes,
that.
Yes,
SAI. SAI is the pioneer in your department that connecting the rural to the urban and as a whole to the center. SAI is accountable for that one. ठीक है बर्तमान कहीं कि मुझे because consistently India's performance in Olympics is not appreciable because we are the population of masses. I think you're the first leading country in terms of populations, but in terms of sports we are nowhere. Like the small countries like Kazakhstan and your Uzbekistan that are ahead of us. So we are much lagging for that one. So infrastructure has to be there. It should be in a block level. So you said it. Tame yadi kahithante mu tumku track karithante if you are suppose posted as an district collector in anywhere else. Then what are your vision regarding this sports? Because sports is very much needed to our coming generations. Sports is health, and sports is we can say sports is our asset in coming time. Because if you are healthy, then you will represent the country in a good way. That means asset will be country's capital will be much preserved. That one. रेस्ट मु कहबी तमरो ठीक अच्छो मते लागला कि सर यू आर हैप्पी विथ द थिंग्स यू सेड इट अ जनरल सेक्रेटरी इन स्टूडेंट यूनियन कॉलेज इट्स बिग दैट मीन्स यू आर bit politically inclined or what sort of you are expecting in college to be माने तमे जदी करूछु तमे को जिंस रिप्रेजेंट करथुरा कॉलेज रे
सर एक्चुअली हम कॉलेज रे जोड़ा हुए हमर इलेक्शन होय नि सर हमर सिलेक्शन होय सर ओयूटी
ओके
हमर सिलेक्शन होय सर तो जो पिला मानकर किछ गोटे माने सर मान सहित ठीक ठाक अछि माने जो जिंस बुझी पारे तो से हिसाब रे हमर होय स्पेशली पिला मान सब बसी के ऑन स्पॉट से माने सिलेक्शन करंती के कोन हेबे ऑन स्पॉट से माने सिलेक्शन करंती हमर
ओके
सर से पार्ट को एमती रिप्रेजेंट करा हो बोर्ड रे कि मो स्टूडेंट माने को प्रॉब्लम को स्टूडेंट इश्यू गुडा को रेज करे टू द अथॉरिटी इन अ वेरी अमिकेबल मैनर पोलाइटली नॉट प्रोटेस्ट पोलाइटली मु रेज करे कि स्टूडेंट इश्यू फॉर एग्जांपल हॉस्टल नाही बा पानी सुविधा नाही ई सब गुडा को रेज करे
तमे ए जिंस सर पचलले तमे सी आंसर देई नथले एबे जोडा कहउछ तमे कहि नथले तमे रादर तले बोर्ड रे पचरियो लेख तमे से जिंस कहबो कि सर फॉर योर माने फॉर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन सर फॉर योर काइंड इन्फॉर्मेशन मु जनरल सेक्रेटरी हिसाब रे हमर बेसिकली वी आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ सिलेक्शंस राइट नॉट इन द इलेक्शंस एंड वी आर बेसिकली आई एम बेसिकली एज ए जनरल सेक्रेटरी माय रोल वाज टू रिप्रेजेंट और टू कम्युनिकेट the problems that are core level problems that our students are facing in the university. That shows that you are much apprehend or leading as a leader that describes your role as a leader. So this much बाकी ठीक अछि
बाकी सुनो जबे मु कहली एग्री तमे कहू अवेयरनेस सेटा तो मु भी करि परिबी ना यू शुड स्ट्रिक्ट तमे एम्ति किछि कह कि जोटा के करि परिबेनी
हां
माने आई क्रिएट अवेयरनेस एनीवन कैन तमे तमरो सेही जहा पढिचो सेहीटु तमे बाहर करो कि व्हाट स्पेशल यू कैन ब्रिंग देखो तुम ओएस हम गोटे हिस्ट्री पिला ओएस हम तो तुम केते अधिक कंट्रीब्यूट करि पारिबो सेटा से मानू कहइबो सो से माने सैटिस्फाई होबा कथा कि नाही वी शुड टेक हिम कि ये अधिक काम करिवो रादर देन हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल पिले हैला तो जनरलाइज न कहि कि स्पेशलाइज कथा कहइबो
सेटा पर भाबो टिके
अदरवाइज ठीक अछि सैटिस्फाइड
एफएसआई रिपोर्ट का आउथरे पढो आई थिंक यू नीड टू बी माने ब्रश ऑफ अगेन बिकॉज़ मणिपुर नागालैंड कथा तुम जो कहइला तमें टोटाली शिफ्टिंग कल्टिवेशन विषय किसी कहलानी शिफ्टिंग कल्टिवेशन से बहुत बड़े प्रॉब्लम है ऑल्दो इट वाज नॉट दैट मच ऑफ रैम्पेंट एज रिफ्लेक्टेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट बट एक्चुअली से प्रॉब्लम अच्छी है मणिपुर वैली रे जोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है बाकी रेस्ट इट्स ओके मते भल लागले
सैटिस्फाइड
सो रेस्ट पार्ट को आसीबा फर्स्ट जदि पॉजिटिव पॉइंट कहबी यू हैव अ गुड नॉलेज एट द एज ऑफ 24 25 you have one international journal publication even having an in-depth knowledge of research methods and research methodologies. You're very much potential candidate to clear the OSSC examination. Rest part जदि टाला positive point knowledge भलो अछि जा जति अछि rest part को आसीबा किछिटा posture gesture रे slight changes required जेतलो एंट्री कला पर फर्स्ट टू ग्रीट द बोर्ड फॉरगेट टू ग्रीटिंग्स करिवे सेटा आपण करि नांदी ताको मैनेज इट्स नो प्रॉब्लम आपण सेटा को मैनेज करिवे देन तो सर आपन कहले इंट्रोड्यूस करंतु आपन सर को क्वेश्चन पचारिले कि विथ नेम और विदाउट नेम इट इज अप टू यू यूज नेम क्वेश्चन पचारंतु डायरेक्टली विथ नेम इंट्रोड्यूस करंतु नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल ठीक अछि
माने ओपीएससी बोर्ड रे विथ नेम कहि
नहीं इंट्रोड्यूस सर माने यू डायरेक्टली स्टार्ट एज एन इलेक्ट्रिक ट्रेन व्हेन सपोज करंट देला सर माइसेल्फ दिस वन आई बिलोंग्स टू दिस
जदि से माने कहबे विदाउट नेम तो
यू कैन
जदि कहि जंदी प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस विदाउट नेम देन
ओडे इंस्ट्रक्शन आसी कि नाटा कहय पई मना अछि
हां सेठी कहि देबे तुमको ओपीएससी रे दे विल टेल यू
हां
सेठी ना लिखा हुए ने ओपीएससी फॉर्म रे
सुनंतु से जो इंस्ट्रक्शन को मु क्लैरिटी दोछि आपन ता जो डाउट अछि कंफ्यूजन जेतला ना कहउछंदी पूरा ना न कहि कि आपन फर्स्ट नेम टा को कहबे केवल ठीक अछि माय नेम इज दिस then my professional qualification and all those you go to that jodi question specifically पचरा जाय छी कि please introduce yourself without taking your name ताहले ना नेबा को जदी मना करा है ताहले नेबेनी जदी बोर्ड मना करिनी ताहले आपण नेबे बुझिला फर्स्ट पॉइंट नेक्स्ट आ गोटे जिनस मार्क करबी आई कांटेक्ट टिके रहउनी सेटा डेवलप करबी हैला रेस्ट जदी नॉलेज देखिबा नॉलेज बहुत बढ़िया इनिशियली लागिला टिके सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस लो बढ़िया बट लेटर ऑन यू बहुत बढ़िया
यू अट्रैक्ट ऑल टू योर्स माने हमें वी ऑल एंजॉयड बट तमे जो वे यू आंसर दोतला बट एतले तमे बसिला प्रथम टी कॉन्फिडेंट माने बसियो हातर पोस्चरटा जंघ ऊपर रख हैला सेमते रख हां दैट इज बेटर आई थिंक नहीं
यस सर
तापर रख आई कांटेक्ट देला बडे 30 सेकंड जदी तमे देखुछो जी पचारुची तमे ताको 20 सेकंड देखो हला बाकी दि जन को से हिसाब देखो सो दैट दे शुड फील दैट दे आर नॉट अटेंडेड हला दैट इज दैट माने जी पचारुची तांको पर टिके फोकस करो 20 सेकंड बाकी 10 सेकंड एपड देखो एंड दैट शुड बी योर हेड शुड बी रिवॉल्विंग ओके
बुझिन आ फॉरेस्ट्री पार्ट टाको टिके आपण लिंक करिवे का सहित सार जो पार्ट आपण को कहले ना फॉरेस्ट अवेयरनेस क्रिएशन करिवे इट बिकम्स मोर जेनेरिक
जो मो यूज करछ अवेयरनेस वर्ड सेटा छाडी अकाउंट
नो यू कैन यूज अवेयरनेस बट मुसिला कहू छी आपण केम से वर्ड को एनरिच करिवे अवेयरनेस वर्ड को केमती एनरिच करिवे व्हिच टाइप ऑफ अवेयरनेस डू यू हैव एज अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट फर्स्ट पॉइंट टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट जणा अछि आपण को मु खाली टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट पढिनी फॉरेस्ट रो खाली टेक्नोलॉजी जानिली फॉरेस्ट सहित जहाँ लॉ इन्वॉल्व अछि ताको जानि छी नाउ लॉ काहे की दरकार मु एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हेबी रिहैबिलिटेशन रिलेटेड जहाँ स्कीम आसियो मु ताको विथ लॉ यूज करी बिकॉज दैट विल बी डायरेक्टली वायोलेशन ऑफ आर्टिकल 21 ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फर्स्ट पॉइंट नाउ फॉरेस्ट राइट्स ऑफ द ट्राइबल पीपल द मोस्ट मार्जिनलाइज्ड सेक्शन ऑफ इंडिया जेकोसी फॉरेस्ट लॉ आसुची फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन पॉलिसी आसुची सेथि ट्राइबल लोक मानकर राइट्स को वायोलेट करा दउची मु सेटा को मध्य से एस्पेक्ट को देखिबी प्लस एटा गला तार लीगल और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एस्पेक्ट तापर आपण कहि मु एनवायरमेंटल एस्पेक्ट मध्य मते जणा अछि एनवायरमेंटल एस्पेक्ट माने जोडा फॉरेस्ट लॉस होउची जहा पर डिस्कशन करूथिले से बाबद देखिबी प्लस एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्टिविटी मध्य एस्पेक्ट भी देखिबार अछि सेटा मु देख परिबी सो मल्टी डायमेंशनल एस्पेक्ट को कहबी तो नॉर्मल अवेयरनेस कहबनी कि एई ग्राउंड रे आई एम डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अदर्स बुझिला फॉरेस्ट लॉ फॉरेस्ट राइट्स ट्राइबल राइट्स मते जणा अछि फॉरेस्ट रो इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट जणा अछि तार एनवायरमेंटल एस्पेक्ट भी जणा अछि बुझिला म कथा सो पॉइंट कहबे मु लिखि दै जेतरे आप थोर देखि देबे ऑल द बेस्ट थैंक यू देखि देबे घर पर
ओके थैंक यू
अदरवाइज गुड कैंडिडेट हैव पोटेंशियल
थैंक यू
हे जो
कम एज रे बहुत बढ़िया नॉलेज अछि कम एज रे बहुत बढ़िया नॉलेज अछि
हे जो टिके आउट के थ्रस्ट दियो यू कैन इफ यू वांट टू कम केबे अछि तुम इंटरव्यू
27
27
Yes.
मच राइट यू कैन कम 12
Again,
भीतर
12,
केबे भी
yes,
गुरुवार
yes.
भीतर आउट यू कैन कम एंड
ठीक
रिपोर्ट
है माने ए जो छुट्टी नथिला तो सर 3 दिन छुट्टी अछि बोली आसी
ऑलराइट
ओके ऑल द बेस्ट हैव अ
थैंक यू
ओके
थैंक यू